Okay, this is a tape recording of Gilead Sciences on April 19th. It's about 10 minutes into the open. You can see from the graph over here that it closed around $47 the day before, and we have gapped higher up to around $54. This is one of my favorite trade setups where we gapped higher on the day. First thing we did was we tested the upside. We kind of broke down to this 54 level, which is beneath the opening 1 minute range. This is a 1 minute chart, and since then we've been consolidating right around this 54 level. I'm looking to start a short position and possibly catch a further down move to fill this gap area somewhere lower, but let's roll the tape and see what the price action gives us. $96, doing a little selling in between the offer. Those white prints are trades going off in between the spread. Sometimes big orders when the spread gets wide and there's a lot of volume that goes in between the spread, it doesn't move. That's the way that the big order is getting filled. See, I started a short position here. I'm short 300 shares under the 54 level. I'm really short against the 54. If 54 climbs here and lifts, then I'm probably going to definitely cover my position. I want to remain flexible in my bias as well. This stock is gapping up 15% on the day, so if we start to hold 54, I would want to get long. $54 just did some volume there a few seconds ago and then got hit, so we're right below that, so I'm still in short mode, waiting for more prints on the tape here. $54 starting to hold. I do not like that for my short position. $54.01, sticking the bid. There's a big print that just went through there. About 10,000 shares. It's a little worrying. There's a lot of prints that are going off above 01. That is not good for my short position. The 01 bid has been holding. Some more volume coming in. You can see I add to a long here. I'm starting a long from 01 above the figure as long as 54 is holding the bid. The more volume it does up here, the better I feel about the long. The high of the day is 54.75, so if we start to hold here, we're looking to test the high. I'm looking to add here 300 shares to my position. Gonna hit out if the 54 drops, and it does, so I hit out immediately. I've still got 300 though. I don't like the way that the action is starting to keep the price below 54.05. It's starting to feel like more of a short. So I start a little short yet again against the 54. Bids are starting to drop. I added to my position. I'm starting to get confirmation that this is going to come lower. 54 is definitely a level. One of the things we want to look for now is volume to confirm our direction. We want to see big prints, held offers. Watch 53.75 here. 53.75 is going to hold the bid. This is what a held bid looks like. It's going to take serious volume here, and it is not going to drop. I tried to sell out a few extras at 75, but once I realized 75 is not dropping, I'm definitely going to look to cover. Okay, there was a huge print that just went off right there. Let me rewind the tape for a second. See if we can catch this. Okay, I'm pausing the tape right there. 53.76 just sold 100,000. 53.75 bid. We want to see now how GILD reacts to this price and these prints around this level. If it drops 75, I'm going to get heavy short. 75 still holds the bid there. Try to drop for a second, then rebid immediately. I don't like that. Even though he sold 100,000 there, I'm going to be looking to cover if GILD doesn't break down here in a second and gets above 80. I'm going to look to cover a portion of my position. Starting to compress against the 75 level. That's what I want to see for my short. Still taking some serious volume there. Just did another 10,000. That quick spray up to 80 is not what I want to see for my short. I think I took back some of my position, or what I had tried to press at 75. So the new game plan is to be definitely short below 53.75, and then I'd have to cover above 54 here. But hovering around the lows is a good thing. 53.77 holding the bid. Starting to take a lot of volume, not just the 75. Let me pause it there for a second. Bats was just showing 100 shares, and it's taking way more than 100 shares here. This guy has a big order. He's trying to get filled. When it drops, he comes back and rebids immediately, and now the bids are starting to step higher again. Seems to have been lifted down to 75. Back lifting through the 80s, and quickly right back up to the figure to test 54. I'm going to pause it right there. You can see 53.80 sold 80,000. So putting that together with what we already know, we have a big seller sold 100,000 at 53.76. Another seller at 53.80 for 80,000, but the price is now above that, so we're definitely looking to cover if this thing can break above 54 here. Otherwise, 54, under 54 is our short. $53.95, starting to do some selling here. It's not really lifting as much. We're not really testing the 54 level like we want to break through it. We're watching the prints here, see where the action's leaning. Big print just went off there. I missed it on the screen. Let me rewind it. It's too far. 803. We're gonna see 54 sell 80,000. Right there. 54 sells 79,900. We're down below that level, but we now know for a fact that 54 is a big level. $53.90 starting to do some volume. Stepping lower. Starting to drift back down to the bottom lower end of this range, 53.75. I'm getting ready to sell out more as soon as I see the 53.75 drop. The bounces are starting to get smaller down here. We have another print there for 48,000 at 53.80. Still a big player selling some stock down here. Remember, there was a buyer at 77, 53.77, 53.75. $53.82 just sold 50,000. So that's a new level we're watching. I covered a few hundred GILD there. Looking to press if we get a breakdown below 53.75. Action on the tape starting to pick up. Notice the offers are starting to hold lower. 77 isn't buying as much stock anymore. Now it's starting to really compress up against that 75 level. The more times that we continue to test this level, the more likely we are to break through it. There she goes. She just dropped right there. I think I was lucky enough to sell out 400 at the 75 right before she dropped. From what I've seen on the tape already, with the selling at 54, 53.80, 53.76, and then the 53.75 buyer dropping, I should be looking to add to my short on any bounce. Started to get down into the mid 50s. Now my target for this trade, for at least my core portion of my size, is basically the figure down at 53. There we go, 40s are dropping. I think I go bid to cover my 400 press at 31. Just put that order in. Looks like I got a lucky fill there. Took some risk off, bounces back up to retest this 50 level. But notice we can't really get higher than 53.55. We're not testing 53.60 anymore. We're decisively below the low of the day breakout point, 53.75. I should be adding back to my short where I covered and pressing more here. Okay, this tape is pretty long. I'm going to fast forward it here a little bit so we can see a pattern change in this GILD around this 53.5 level. It bounces around here. You can see a print that just went through there. Back it up, quite large. There it is right there, 53.46. There's 60,000. Okay, I'm going to fast forward it a little bit here. Oops, too far. Okay, 1530 is where I'm going to start the tape here. Watch this 53.50 level. It's kind of been going over below it, over below. There starts to be some volume done here where 53.50 starts to hold the bid and 53.51 steps up in front. Tries to hold. The pattern is about to change. Okay, right there. We now have 53.50 down on the offer, offering another 6,500, and we just printed 15,000 on the offer, and the offer doesn't lift. Don't have time to show it on this whole tape, but that is the last time it gets above this 53.5 level right there for the entire day. Fast forward a little further, we can see the share continues to drift lower, under 53.5. I should have way more than 300 shares short still. Fast forward a little further, trading down to the 35s. Just hovering around below the 50 mark. Continuing to fast forward here. There we go. Looks like we had a quick breakdown. 53.28. Once it gives up this quarter, it trades down to the figure pretty quickly. It's on that type of breakdown where I take back most of my position. Okay, just watching the last few seconds of tape here. You see this trade down to the figure. and briefly below it. It does bounce off this level here and then offers another great short opportunity in the afternoon for below 53 again for another leg lower. This is definitely one of my favorite trade setups, especially in a share that's $53. It allows it to move quite far intraday. Well, that's it. That's the trade in Gilead Sciences. I'm going to pause the video here, and that's it. Thanks.